Yo, 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 yo. What's up, YouTube? What's up, Facebook land? It is your boy JD, aka Mr. December, and we are back with another episode of the Love and Relationships Show. Thank y'all for joining me. Did y'all miss us last week? Did y'all miss us while we were gone? I think y'all did. We got a great show lined up for you all tonight, but before we get started, I need y'all to do me a favor. Please, please, please like the video. That's number one. Number two, I need y'all to share the video. And then the last thing I need y'all to do is I need y'all to subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe to the channel. Please hit the like button. It would really help us out. Let everybody know that we're live. So let me put a disclaimer out here first. This is not intended to bash anybody or to shame anybody. We're just having a conversation. You know what I'm saying? So the goal here is to see more of our families getting together in our community. There seems to be some sort of a disconnect between what men are seeing and what women are seeing. So we're here to try to close that gap a little bit. And as per usual, we got a guest tonight. Well, not really a guest. She's our family now. She's a permanent part of the cast. Y'all give it up for Miss Antoinette. Say something to the people, Antoinette.
Greetings, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Like JD just finished saying, the topics that we're going over are highly important for our community. So let's talk about it.
Yeah, we're gonna get into it tonight. We got some really, really good topics tonight, and I can't wait to get into it. And we've got our other family member here tonight, y'all. Y'all, please help me join me in welcoming the one, the only, the Alabama church girl. Say something to the people, Val.
Beep, beep, toot, toot. Hey, good people. It's your Alabama church girl here, first giving honor to God, who is the head of my life, to all the leaders, saints, and friends. Welcome, welcome, welcome on in.
Welcome indeed. We about to get into it on tonight. So, listen, I want to talk about something tonight, and I promise this is not clickbait. Y'all see the title, y'all see the thumbnail of the live, but I find it fitting. I want to go into this topic first. Before we get into the juicy stuff, I want to get into this topic first. And it comes from a post that I shared in our group earlier today. And I've been saving it for such a time as this. And it basically said that men should love a woman more than she loves him, right? Or else the relationship will not work. And I've got a few things that I've got to say about this. And listen, another announcement. Y'all, excuse me. Fellas, if you're in the group, I know my boy RJ and my boy B Mac, I know they got things to do. They tried to be with us tonight. They weren't able to do it. But fellas, y'all see me up here by myself. I need just a little bit of backup. So if there's any fellas out there that's willing to help back me up, please hit me up and let me know, and we will get you on the show for sure. So now that that's out of the way, like I was saying, the post said, and I believe y'all saw it, the post said that a man should love a woman more than she loves him, or else the relationship won't work. Hmm. I want to start with the Alabama church girl. I see you look like you have something to say. So I want to start with the Alabama church girl. Tell me what your thoughts are on this.
Your face is telling me that you are offended by that statement.
Well, listen, it not necessarily offended. I got my own thoughts. I got my own thoughts on it, but I want to give the ladies a chance first before I pop y'all's bubble. All right. So yeah, go ahead. Just tell us all about it, Val.
So I'm an electrician, so energy is where I thrive. Okay, so I kind of feel like it could go both ways. It's you are definitely blessed if you find someone that matches your energy and your love tank. But sometimes one's going to pour more than the other one will pour. One is open to receive more than the other is open to receive. It doesn't necessarily have to be that the man is loving the woman more. It could be vice versa. It just depends. I say it too many times that everyone's relationship is unique to what they designed their relationship to be. So it just depends on what you need, what you're looking for, and what you're willing to accept. That's the way I see it.
Okay, okay, I can dig it. Antoinette, what do you have to say about this? Men are supposed to love the woman more than the woman loves the man. What do you think?
I absolutely agree with Val because, when you look at the five love languages, everything is different. And what you pour into is not always what you get. If you don't have that equal balance within each other, then it won't be received as such. Like I was saying, it depends on the situation. It depends on what you all are going through, the transitions, and how does one feed into the other. You can't say, okay, if a man is pouring more into that to the woman may not be your puzzle piece. So why are you pouring all this energy into something that's not going to be received on the other end? The way that completes you or that satisfies you, that allows the relationship to thrive. So it depends, and it's not just subjective to, like I was saying, the five love languages, because every situation is different.
Okay, I can dig it. I can dig it. And so here's here's the problem that I have. And what's up, Iris? Thank you so much for joining us. And yeah, we are starting off with a hot topic on tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. Big up to Iris Chapman in the building. So coming from a man's perspective, here's the problem that I hear or see with this advice rather. The problem is that men have been getting this advice and the ladies have been getting this advice. So if if you have a portion of the ladies and a portion of the men trying to follow this same advice, I don't think it's conducive to making more relationships or more people coming together in our community. Matter of fact, I think it's really quite problematic because to me, and I've been in situations like this before where I felt like I loved the lady more than she loved me, and vice versa. Ask me how that's going for me. It hasn't worked out. You know what I'm saying? It hasn't worked out at all. And I believe if you ask most people if they're following this advice, how it's working out for them, I believe I would feel very confident in saying that they would feel a lot of the same way because I'm you can love somebody, right? But if you know that person loves you more, it's gonna come a time where you start to take that person for granted for one. And that's never good. And then it's gonna come a time where you're gonna lose respect for that person, i.e., you might lose attraction for that person. I'm of the belief that you need to be with somebody. It might be hard to say that you love somebody equally, but I really think that it's better if both parties are chasing each other in the same direction, coming toward each other, right? Rather than one person, just kind of off, and one person is always, kind of chasing behind, trying to catch up, for the lack of a better word. And I have this video that's been going around on TikTok, and I only watch TikTok for content, y'all. But I want to play this video. I want to bring it up on the screen. It comes from a content creator. I think his name is Uncle Dallas or something like that. But anyway, I want y'all to check this out, and y'all let me know if you cannot hear it.
What's something that's true for Christians, but we're not ready for that conversation?
It's okay. Don't get mad with me. Don't shoot the messenger. The Bible never tells a woman to love a man. It never tells a woman to love a man, but society has told you that you have to love a man. The Bible says, husbands, love your wife as Christ loved the church. And the love for Christ is a perpetual love that is not defined by circumstance or situation. It's actually defined by commitment to love. So it says, husbands, love your wife. This is why your wife may be emotional. She may think of a whole bunch of different things, but you're supposed to love her through it, because the love of a man is a covering. The support of a woman is a strength. So a man has to love a wife and cover her wife. So while you are getting mad every time she shifts, you're supposed to love her. She's not supposed to love you back at the same level. Just saying. Bye.
JD,
What do y'all have to think? Tell me something.
I was just about to bring that up. that the
Bring it
Bible
up.
never told that woman to love the man. So when it comes to loving someone more, that statement could be accurate. But at the same time, I feel like that in each relationship, your partner has to meet your needs. What do you need? And
Mm.
Antoinette brought up a good point about the love languages. You need that your partner to speak your love language and know how to fluently receive messages from your love language. That's what I feel. Because at the end of the day, Tina Turner told us what's love got to do with it. What's love got to do with
Okay.
it?
Okay. I can dig that, but yeah, Antoinette, I want you to go, and then I'm gonna go. What do you
Yeah,
think about that?
I don't know, because seasons change, and we have to be able to decipher what transitions our partners and what's going on within ourselves in order to be that better person, or that same energy entity that's going to help with growth in our relationship. um, as far as with the role of the man being the one to love and the woman to support, again, both need to be able to do such things. Yes, it may be the written word. However, the word was also written eons ago, and things have changed, and it's different on how we apply the word to today's understood relationships. So I believe that a woman's love also, as it goes towards our children and our family and our partner, I think that we should also be able to love on our man or our partner, but not just take all that love from our men and not provide anything back towards them. So it's kind of different when you think about it in today's age, and you apply that when you decipher what's going on with men and women in their relationships.
Okay, okay. I can dig it. I can dig it. I like it a lot. And then Miss Iris Chapman says, I've been taught that in church. Man love woman, woman respect man. Okay. And I like that. Let me tell you why. Because to me, one of the biggest things that men want is respect. Let me rephrase that. One of the biggest things that men need, right, is respect.
Come on,
Now,
Aretha.
say again.
I said, come on, Aretha. RESPEC.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Respect is really, really big coming from men, because if a man does not feel respected, then I mean, that's gonna be cause for trouble. It, at least for me, it will. But to me, in my opinion, I believe if a woman shows respect to a man, that's how she's showing that she loves that man as well. Now, I've got something else. I gotta debunk that now. Cause y'all know I gotta push back, and I try to advocate for the fellas, even though I ain't got no backup. It's all good. Um, the Bible also says, I believe it's in um Titus. I believe it's in the book of Titus, chapter 2, somewhere there around verse 4. And I'll look it up just so I'll make sure. Look, she done ran and got her Bible, y'all. She ain't the Alabama.
Val done went.
Look,
Val
they
went.
don't
Get it,
they
get it.
don't call her
There
the
it is.
Alabama church girl for no reason.
I know
They
that's
don't call
right.
her the Alabama church girl for no reason. I believe it's
Yeah, but
somewhere around the second chapter of Titus, I think. Uh, Alabama church girl looking up, and then she paper Bible saved. She ain't go to the app on the phone. She got the paper Bible. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. So,
highlights
but
and all.
right. So I believe that scripture talks about women loving their husband and their children. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's what it says. Well, and while Valerie is still working on that, um, Antoinette, I want to know from you. Do you think that if let's just I want to highlight some of the issues with this. If you know for a fact, I'm going to use you as an example. If you knew for a fact that your husband loved you, or your significant other loved you more than you loved them, right? How would that affect you in your relationship?
Greatly, because then that means I have to look inside myself and figure out if I'm the one for this person. Um, and what his values are and my values are. If it's just not clicking, then it's not clicking. And I have to reevaluate myself to not waste his time and not waste my time. Like you
Mm-hmm.
said, it is about respect, a woman respecting a man, like Iris said, but also that man loving that woman. So, with the love that he is covering me with, and I'm not respecting the fact of his efforts, then that means I got to let it go, because then I'm
Mm-hmm.
not the woman for you. And maybe at this time in my transition, that I can't support you because I can't support myself. And I don't mean that as far as with the job and the materialistic things. These are the spiritual, the mental, the physical entities that make me strong enough to support and respect you, to value what you give and pouring into me. So if that's the case, and I'm the one that's being complacent or just not caring, I mean, you got to look at it. Sometimes people just don't care, and they're just
Mm-hmm.
there and feeding into having the thought of a partner. And that's when you start coming into trouble as far as with relationships, because people don't understand the depths of what your partner is pouring into. So I'd have to let it go. You found it, Alabama church girl. Did you find it, boo?
Come on, read that scripture for us.
All
What
right,
it
now,
say?
JD,
Mm-hmm.
you're accurate about 95% because you didn't throw in the fact that this is a letter from Paul
Mm-hmm.
teaching the church what to do, okay? So,
Right, right.
okay. So, in the book of Titus, chapter number 2, starting at verse number 4. Well, let's start at verse number 3. The aged women, because we kind of mentioned this in a previous video. And if you haven't seen this video, I need you to go back through the channel and search for that video where we talked about mature women teaching younger women or giving
Please
advice.
do. Please do.
Anywho, Titus, chapter number 2, starting at verse number 3. excuse me, the aged women likewise, that they may be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers, not given to much wine, teachers of good things, that they may teach young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient. That's a word right there.
Mm.
That's a word. Implement to their own husbands. Oh my God, this was not in my vows.
My.
Excuse me.
It
That
got
the
you
word
choked
of
up a little
God
bit.
be not blasphemed. I had to choke on that.
Got you choked up a
The
little bit.
obedient word didn't come out. I didn't do that.
Oh my goodness! But see, here's the issue about what I was saying, and then this video that his name is Uncle Dallas is what he calls himself. Um, he's quoting a verse from the same writer. You know what I'm saying? It comes from the same person. So um, I think that's where part of the problem comes in. You know, we have to take the whole thing into context. You know, and just like Antoinette just said, you know, if it's a situation to where you know that person is way more into you than you are to them, you might do anything. You know what I'm saying? You might do anything, or you may not do something. You know what I'm saying? Because if it's somebody that you don't love on the same level, you won't give that person the same thing that they need. Go ahead, Alabama church girl. It's on you.
You, you know, I got to add in a little bit of the hot topics. You know, on these
Yeah.
housewives, there is a typology of a situation like that. On the Beverly Hills, there's a young lady with the initials EJ. They say that her husband loved her so much that he was robbing Peter to pay Paul and taking it and putting it in her pocket.
Mm-hmm.
They say allegedly he was a lawyer, a big time lawyer that was taking money from his clients and feeding it into the wife's bank account. But she was capitalizing on the fact that he loved her so much, he would do anything
Mm-hmm.
for her. Now, both of them are in a big scandal and could go to some big prison cells
Mm-hmm.
because of this. That he allegedly he loved her so much he would do anything to give her what she wanted.
Mm. And that's a good thing and it's a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? It's a good thing in the fact that absolutely, if that's your spouse, you should absolutely love them that much. But you should also love them enough not to, put their life at risk. Let me read this comment from Iris real quick. She says, "I do have to interject that Hebrew and Greek translation into English is sometimes iffy. You are absolutely right. That's why you have to be careful about what translations that you listen to. Not
That's why
and
that obedient word didn't come out right.
no, I think that was right. I think that, I think
I
that
think
one
the
might be
English
right.
man wanted us to obey. God didn't say that.
I think that one might be
God
right.
didn't say that.
We'll go back to that one later. But and again, you know, if just from me and my experience, if you love a woman more than what she loves you, you're never going to get the whole you're not going to get the level of respect that you should get, and after a while she would start to lose respect for that man, because I mean, if you're not going into a relationship wholeheartedly with the intention of doing the best that you can and being the best version of yourself, and being I'm sorry, these comments these comments are distracting me a little bit, but anyway, Thank y'all for joining us in the comments. But anyway, if you're not coming into this thing giving it 100%, it's going to make it more difficult to get through those hard times and navigate through that turbulence in the relationship. Because it just seems like to me, if you don't love a person enough, then you're not willing to fight. Does that make any sense? Am I making sense, Antoinette?
It does, but then you have to think about the levels of love and understanding when people are going into relationships. And some people have come in and out of toxic relationships to where they don't understand what loving themselves and loving one another really is. They just go through the motions that have been set forward through the stereotypical access and resources of your love and hip hop, through your drama TV, through your soap operas, through your the songs that we have playing on the radio. They go off of what is surrounding them and what's influencing them, and thinking that they're feeling fitting that mold. So when we get into relationships, it's kind of easy for people to become manipulated into what others want them to be to fit the satisfaction of where they are, but not understanding where they need to be. And so that's when you start coming up with these relationships of unbalance and toxicity, and not knowing what the true value of love actually is. What does love and support actually mean? What does communication mean? And how is it being expressed through my actions? So, am I supposed to get defensive because you're telling me that I'm supposed to wash the dishes and you supposed to dry it? Or are you telling
Mm,
me I'm supposed to cook this meal and then I'm going to clean the kitchen? So it depends on how we're receiving and what influences have allowed us to accept the values and the actions of other ones, of other, your partner's love and acceptance. So you have to take that to the different levels and degrees of where we're going with this.
okay, okay. Alabama church girl, did you have something else you wanted to add?
No, I'm a little bit silly right now, so I'm gonna leave that right there. Because I'm still stuck on this obedient word.
Oh, did it do something to your spirit?
It is something. It touched a vein over here. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
but I honestly, I can see in some relationships where there is a little bit of imbalance, but it's okay. People work through it. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Some, and I think one of you mentioned that sometimes there's ebbs and flows. Sometimes one it could be the male that's loving more, and then in the same relationship, just a year or so down the line, it's the woman that's loving more. There, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's not always going to be 50-50. It's just not, and you're not
Mm-hmm.
always going to have the same two people giving 100%. It's just not gonna happen like that because stuff happens in life, and sometimes your energy is just like there. Sometimes you're doubting in the back of your mind, like, do I really
Mm-hmm.
want to keep doing this? And then
Right,
sometimes
right.
you're like, no, I ain't never letting this go. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it just works out like that. You go through and you get through if you really want that relationship. But like I said before, it's about, is that partner meeting your needs? Because to be honest, if you have the love of God, you really do. It's not much more that a human being can do to love you more than that. You can be sound in that love,
Mm-hmm.
but you want the companionship of that human being. You want somebody to go out on a date with. You want somebody to
Right.
sit on the couch and watch a movie with. You want
Mm-hmm.
somebody to rub on in the bed. You know what I mean? But that's not necessarily love. That's companionship.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
And yeah, I think you're absolutely right. And I think I think what you said has a lot to do with the duty aspect of a long term relationship, or more of a marriage rather, because like you said, it's going to be days to where you don't feel like you're in love with that person, or it's going to be some times where there's some conflict and you don't feel like loving that person. You want to be mad sometimes, You know what I'm saying? But once that passes, I think that it should be a point to where you all, the two of you, come back together, and at the end of the day, I
It's
know she
us.
loves. Yeah, I know she loves me. She knows I love her, vice versa, and we can get through anything. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's part of what people are lacking is the duty aspect of a marriage, because every day is not going to be sunshine. You know what I'm saying? And it gets to a point to where uh, if let's just say it was Antoinette and I in a marriage, if I loved her more than she loves me, I would know that. You know what I'm saying? It would show in the way that she treats me. It would show in the way that she shows affection, all of that stuff. Simply because she don't love me like that. You know what I'm saying? When I think about it, and when I hear people talk about it, my mind automatically goes to like a lady that has somebody in the friend zone. You know what I'm saying? A lady that has a guy in the friend zone, he might have the utmost love for her or want something more, but she just not feeling him like that. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's where a lot of the so-called red pill rage that's going around. I think that's where a lot of that comes from, because a lot of men have been getting burnt on this, and now men are standing up and saying, "No more. We're not doing it no more." You know what I'm
May
saying? We're
I add
not.
something?
Yeah, absolutely.
That sometimes people come together with a common goal in mind, and they might
Hmm.
not necessarily be in love. They may have a love for each other, but might not necessarily be in love. But they stay together for that common goal,
Hmm.
i.e., we're gonna have some kids. We're here to reproduce,
Right.
and we're gonna stay together for these kids.
Hmm.
When I don't care what happened in the relationship, you could have slapped my mama. I'm still staying because we got these kids. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
That
She
ain't what
said
I
no.
would
Antoinette
do.
said no. Antoinette
That's
said
not what
no.
I would do, internet. But I'm saying, that there are some with that mentality that I'm not gonna be a single mama. I'm not leaving this man. That's my man. My mama can find her own man. That type of mentality. But then
Hmm.
and also, let's keep it 100. We're in the US of A, where
Yep.
capitalism is king, and some people come together for wealth creation. They don't
Hmm.
love each other. They just know that you come from a nice pedigree, and so do I. And when we get together, it's gonna be on and popping in the bank account. And they stay together for that purpose. There's not love there, but they have a common goal and a common interest.
Okay, Antoinette, I saw the look on your face. Did you have something else you wanted to say?
No, I no, I agree. As far as with the slapping the mama, I mean, that what I'm gonna do is make sure that I have my insurance policy on you first, and then, if the cousins and everybody else need to be called in order for you to take a trip, then I mean, that's just what it is. As long as the family is, supported through that insurance policy, then all is well in the house.
Hmm.
That's all. That's all I'm saying is that just make sure that we're financially secured and stable before you make a trip.
Okay, okay.
That's it.
I hear where you coming from, and I got one more question that that I want to ask, and then we'll go on to the next topic of why we're here tonight. So, what makes a woman, and I see the comment that Miss Iris put on the screen. Men absolutely hate being in the friend zone. Absolutely. I don't operate in that area unless I want to operate in that area. Just putting that out there. But anyway, I got one more question I want to ask. Why y'all laughing? I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. I don't operate in the friend zone unless I
Make
want
it
to be in the
plain,
friend zone.
preacher. Make
Yeah,
it plain.
I ain't. I don't have time to. I don't have time to be dealing in the friend zone. You know that's not conducive to where I'm trying to go, unless I want to be there. Anyway, I got one more question. What makes and I want to ask you nice ladies that's on the panel. What makes you either love a man or friend zone a man? If he's interested, let's just say I'm interested in you Alabama church girl. I'm interested in you Antoinette. Okay, I shot my shot, right? What is it that makes you check the friend zone box or the I'll give him a chance box? What is it? Alabama church girl, you
Go
go
ahead,
first.
Val. Go ahead, Val. Get it, Val. Get it.
Go because you don't want to
Listen,
go first.
I told,
You don't want to
no,
go
I
first.
don't want to go first. Let Antoinette go first. Because I
Okay.
told y'all I'm feeling silly tonight.
Well,
And
it's fine.
my answers are real silly.
It's
It,
fine.
it's absolutely fine.
Listen, what would put him in the friend zone with me?
Yeah. What makes you check the friend zone box and what makes you check the I'll give him a shot box?
The friend zone box would be if he has small feet.
My lord.
He got a little bit of hands.
Uh-huh.
He can't hold a conversation to save his life.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Okay.
he's funny, but he like I said, he does not know how to have an intellectual conversation. Um, friend zone if he starts telling me how to do my hair.
Mm-hmm.
Friend zone if I don't like how he dresses and I see no potential of anything changing. Friend zone most definitely if he bright skinned. We can't be nothing but friends.
Listen, y'all are hearing this firsthand. Y'all are hearing this stuff firsthand. And listen, I got to tell y'all something. I heard from another content creator that shall remain nameless, but it is absolutely true. You have only 7 seconds to make a first impression, right? So for me, I won't even I won't even approach anybody unless I'm feeling myself that day. You know what I'm saying? Because men, y'all hear it from the ladies themselves. Small feet, Facebook user that shall remain nameless.
And I gotta go
Small
look him
feet,
up.
definitely, and can't communicate. What does that even mean? Can't
You know what that
communicate.
means.
Can't
You know
communicate?
what that means.
What does that even mean?
You cannot hold a
I know
conversation.
I know what it means, but I mean, uh, are y'all looking for a man that's gonna kind of sweep you off your feet, the first time, or tell you a joke, knock me like what's up?
I
We
mean,
need to know.
having a sense of humor is definitely a plus. But I
Okay.
need to balance that out and be able to talk business with you. I need to be able to talk some numbers sometimes. I need to be able to talk some politics. I need to talk spirituality sometimes. I
Mm-hmm.
need to get deep sometimes. I need to know where your soul goes because if you're going to touch my soul, I need to know where yours has been.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
You can't
I
be
can dig.
plunging in the middle of my wheel and you ain't got nothing to plunge with.
That part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
Deb, I'm watching on. I got my phone pulled up, so I knew who you were. I just wasn't gonna call your name out.
I
But
see her.
if you're on Facebook, you have to give StreamYard the permissions to put your profile up. But yeah, Yeah, I can dig it. I can dig it. So, Antoinette, come on with it. What makes
So
you
I'm
check friend zone or check? I'll give them a shot.
I'm an observer. I'm not just gonna go for when I first see you unless I absolutely know that that chemistry is there. Like, oh, that's gonna be my man right there.
Hmm.
And I've done that before. I'm like, okay, yeah, there he is. Cool. So what I usually do when I observe, I look at, the situation. Are you able, like I say, are you able to talk? Can we get intellectual and can we get hood? Are you going to be able, if I got to put on my monkey suit, are you going to be there and have that alibi? Don't ask no additional questions. I just need you to be there. And then when it gets down to, when I need to vent, I need you to be able to have that balance and be like, all right, boo, you said what you need to say. Okay, now we're moving on. So be able to say, hey, get me in line. Because in being there's this saying that I saw, and there's this picture, with black art, and it says the backbone of man is strong. And that backbone is us. So as strong as I am, I need to have that man that's gonna show that he's just as strong, and he will put my strong self in the corner and tell me that I need to slow down, or I need to refocus. So I observe and see how a man maneuvers, and how he holds himself. Is he, like I say, is he able to joke around? Is he able to be serious? How does his friends and family receive him, and how does he interact with his friends and family, his nieces and nephews, the cousins? If something goes down, do they call him or do they leave him in the dark? What is his involvement with work? Is he able to turn it on and turn it off and turn it right back on again? Like, these are different things that I need to know that you're capable of doing, because just like him, I'm also a chameleon, and it depends on the situation. So if I don't feel as though we could grow together, and you are someone that I could walk with down the street and be all right, if something goes down, then that's going to be a problem. I also observe, do you open the door? Do you understand what it means when we walk down the street and you are on the outside? If I have to walk down the street and you are not on the correct side of the road, that turns me off. If I hear that you are talking disrespectful to your mother or to anybody else, a woman, then that's a turn off. That's the friend zone. I don't have time for no games. And then, especially if you have children, and the way that you interact with children, when something comes up or you seem to have a little slick remark, I listen to those slick talks. And if that's the issue, then it's a complete turn off, and we don't have to have no additional discussions. So I pay attention to the little details of stuff. You could look good all you want to, but as we begin to grow, it ain't all about looks, because if you so nice looking on the outside and you so ugly on the inside, honey, we don't need to have any type of relationship, because I'ma just pretend like you don't exist and then keep it pushing. So that's what I look for as an observer for in
Okay.
a partner. But yeah, I have to see you a couple of times, and if I'm interested, I'm gonna make sure that we're in the same spot, so that way I could, brush up against you. Let me smell you. Do you smell right? Because
Uh-huh.
like I told you before, before we get on, I make sure like we put on our Fenty lip balm.
Yeah.
Listen, I have my lotion right here, because you gonna smell me as I am talking. I need to smell you. Y'all know how
That's what's
I am.
up. That's what's
Yeah,
up. That's what's up.
he got to notice that leg. Remember we talked about the leg. He
The
got to
leg
notice.
Exactly.
again.
Yes. If he didn't notice that
Yes.
leg and he didn't see this cleavage,
Not the
oh, he's
cleavage.
Not
a
this,
friend.
and the hair. Yeah, y'all know
Thank
how I am with
you.
my hair. Come on now.
Now, okay, I feel like y'all want to ask me a question. come on and ask the question, and then
What?
I want
Uh-oh.
you, I want y'all that are watching, go back and look at some of these other videos, and
Hmm.
you'll kind of understand what's going on. Uh, as it comes to getting respect from men and women, I got a video up about it. Go check it out. So, ask me a question. Go ahead.
Why do men put women in the friend zone?
That's right.
The reason that a man will put a woman in the friend zone is a very multifaceted question. I'd have to say now, we're talking about you. You got a group of Pookies and Ray Rays over here, right? And then you got another group of men over here. That's where I operate. So I'm talking about these men over here, not the Pookies and the Ray Rays.
That's all we want to know about.
Thank you.
what made what
We
the
can ignore those over there.
one of the things that will cause a man to put a woman in the friend zone is a lack of reciprocity. Men want to feel like the effort is reciprocated, and men also want to know that a woman is interested in him as well. You know what I'm saying? In these days and times, we got to kind of be careful about the way that we move. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't ever want to have any allegations or anybody looking at us sideways about anything or want to make anybody feel away. So reciprocity is number one. If a man is whining and dining you and putting in effort to show that he likes you and is interested in you, and he's not getting anything back in return, we would possibly friend zone. If it was me, I wouldn't be dealing with you at all. If I didn't feel like you were interested or in the reciprocity, again, I don't operate in the friend zone unless I want to be in the friend zone. But that's another thing. And then a man is going to man over here. A man wants to see that you can be an asset and not a liability to him. You know what I'm saying? If not that a woman's money matters so much, but just the fact of being able to help take the load off of him or make his load a little bit easier or looking for somebody who can bring peace and attitude matters. Men want a lady that's nice. You know what I'm saying? Nice and friendly. Matter of fact, I was talking to Mac the other day, right? And I was telling Mac some things about this lady that I had met. Everything was going amazing. Everything still is going amazing. But anyway, Mac said something that really, really pierced me. And it pierced me so deep. He said, "Oh, so she was just being nice." And I said, "Yeah." And at that time, it hit me, and we talked about it for about 15 minutes. It hit me, and it's hard to find a lady that'll just be nice to you without the attitude, without the smart mouth, without the city girl, hot girl, summer attitude, somebody that's genuinely into you, and you can tell by the way that they talk to you, you can tell by the way that they respond to you, and you can even tell. I say this a lot, but it's true. You can even tell when you hear it in their laugh. You know what I'm saying? And I'm about ready to pull out the keys to the kingdom just thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? Those things make a difference. Let me see. Somebody says, "Have you ever friend zoned someone? If so, what was the reason?" Yeah. I have friend zoned several people, and the biggest reasons were like I just stated. I felt like it was um, that lady was more of an asset than a liability. You know, I'm going this way, and I don't need a weight. You know, that's gonna keep me. I need somebody that's gonna help me push this thing forward. You know what I'm saying? I need somebody that's gonna help motivate. Somebody that's pleasant, has a positive disposition about themselves. Right? I we don't need anybody that's going to try to work against us and pull us down, right? And then, like I said, the reciprocity thing. You know, not saying that anybody has to chase or whatever, but if I feel like the energy is being uh, reciprocated and going back and forth in a good manner, then that's gonna make me want to give more. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna keep my interest and it's gonna make me want to go even harder. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I thought that it was, you know, problematic for this statement for, you know, make sure that he loves you more or it's not gonna work. I really disagree with that. And it could just be me, but if I feel like I'm not getting out, you know, what I'm putting in, and
May
that's
I
just the end of it.
may I share something with you, JD?
Absolutely, you may.
You know, I've dated, I and I have come encountered some men that I could have potentially gone further with, but I'm the type of female that I'm gonna hold out all of my assets until I see you put something on the line. Until I see you make some statements and show up in a way. So I have learned that there are plenty of men that could have received more from me if they had just asked the right questions. Sometimes they just don't ask the right questions. They so stuck on talking about themselves and what they got going on and what they past woman did, and I don't care about that, sir. When you gonna ask me about me? And they never
Mm.
learn of how I could be an asset to them because they never ask the right questions. And those are men that get put in friend zone if they get a space at all.
Hmm. Okay, and I can dig that, and the reason why is because you got somebody clapping. That's Deb. That's Deb giving you a little round of applause. That's what's up. Big up to Deb. But I can dig what you're saying, but one of the issues with that, and this is just to push back. This is not toward you or anything like that, but a lot of men don't know what to ask. They don't know what to look for, and then I'll just be honest. In a lot of situations, sometimes men just aren't ready, you know. And I'm just of the opinion that a man is not going to be like truly ready until he gets around that 30, 32 to 35 age range, you know. And when you learn how to properly try to vet for a wife, men will ask those proper questions, but I, a lot of men don't know. They just don't know, and
But
that's part of what we're trying to do here. Go ahead.
can they not speak with elders and learn what to ask? I mean, something simple as what are your goals? What are
Hmm.
your aspirations?
Hmm.
Because if you just looking at my exterior,
Right.
you would think I'm a woman of low value. You really would.
Hmm.
Because honestly, everything I got on, this hat, this sweatshirt, these workout pants, even the sneakers I got on, all come from Walmart and Family Dollar. Because I'm that type of frugal woman.
Hmm.
I am. I am. But I promise you, I just promise you. I just promise you.
She said she promised y'all.
It
But
is.
do you think though it's like JD was saying that they're just not ready to receive love or understand or willing to sit back and take the time to understand what love is, being that since the topic is, and we've discussed, men are the ones to give the love and we are to give the respect and the support. If they have not experienced that love or know how to express that love, how are they to explore it to
If they've
apply
never
it to the
experienced it.
relationship?
Hmm. And that goes back to what Alabama church girl was just asking about, asking the elders, and I said
Right.
this on a few streams back. The reason that a lot of younger men don't go to the elders is because, y'all, the 50-year-old is just as confused as the 15-year-old.
And I get that. I get that. But
Yeah.
there are some that have had successful, long lasting relationships
Hmm.
that could teach you a
Hmm.
little bit of wisdom. Like,
Hmm.
like
Right, right,
even,
right.
even if
And
it's as simple as don't go ask that woman that, you
mhm,
know,
But they
mhm.
because
don't take the
she gonna chew your head
time.
off. Right.
They don't take the
And-
time and they get acting out of character. Sorry, JD, go ahead.
no, 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 no. You're absolutely fine. And then another thing too. Look, I had an OG tell me a while back, "Yo, I feel sorry for you, young blood, because these women these days are not built like the women were back in the day, and vice versa. I
Hmm.
gotta admit it's vice versa too. But we're starting to hear more from the men. You know what I'm saying? We're starting to hear more from the men, and men are actually trying to do better. That's part of why I want to put this message out to give some light to the ones that want to do better. Because I mean, this is a popular talking point from another content creator too, and I went and verified the information myself. 54% of black men are single and childless. 61% of that is in the middle class. You know what I'm saying? So men are striving to do better, and I'm finding that men want to be in relationships and they want families. You know what I'm saying? But it's beginning to be to be more to be harder these days, simply because of the fact of I think advice like this, hot girl summer, get your bag. Y'all, it's literally people out here teaching women how to finesse men and getting millions of views. But if the shoe was on the other foot, that man would be canceled. I'm not speaking of the low vibrational men. I'm speaking of the men that actually want to be with somebody and actually wants a relationship and wants to build something with some. You have all kinds of content creators out here, just like the video I just played, and we already debunked that theory, and we used the Bible to do it, right? You know what I'm saying? So, um, I really think that men want to do better and want to work with women. We just gotta find that common ground to where we can do so. Final thoughts, and then we'll move on to what everybody's been waiting on. Final thoughts, Antoinette.
I mean, it's definitely something that we're going to have to readdress because we can't figure this out in one night,
Right.
especially with our community. I think it's important that we take the value of each other and the drive, like we said, starting to tap back into with our elders and showing how we can become better for each other in our community. I think it's very important. Um, there's not too much that I could really tie into that because
Mhm.
we've already hit about that hour. But I look forward to reattacking this topic because we definitely need to dig a little bit deeper on it.
I agree. I agree with you wholeheartedly. Alabama church girl, what do you think? Final thoughts on this topic.
Do men have to love women more? Not necessarily. I think that each person that comes into the relationship needs to first learn to love themselves. And also, I'm the Alabama church girl. I'm always going to tell you to find the love of God before you try to love anybody else. Because once you have that, you're not leaning and depending on the love of anyone else. But when you love yourself, you know how love feels to yourself, then you'll know how to give love to someone else. So one doesn't have to love the other more.
Okay, okay. I'm in agreement 100%. I like it, and I promise we will revisit this topic again. I already got some good ideas up my sleeve. Hmm. Yeah, I got some ideas up my sleeve. But yeah, we'll revisit this topic again later. So listen, if you're still watching, if you're just now joining us, please hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to comment down below. Did we get it right? Did we get it wrong? We want to hear from y'all. Also, I did drop the link in the comments below. So if anybody, and I'll drop it again, if anybody wants to come up to share their thoughts, you are more than happy or more than free to do so. Next topic. Y'all are looking at the title, you're looking at the thumbnail. This is what we've been trying to get to all night long. Would y'all sign a prenup? Would y'all sign a prenup? Let me give you some background story on this. So, a few weeks ago, right, we talked about Brittany Renner, right? How she got with PJ, got pregnant, and y'all, before the baby was even out good, she filed for a divorce or broke up with him or whatever. PJ got, y'all. It was another NBA player, and I forget his name. I forget what that dude's name is, but I promise you I'll find it. Recently, an NBA player retired at 38. Before he could even hang his jersey up on the wall good, his wife was filing for divorce. Dr. Dre was married for over 20 years. Got a divorce. Kelly Clarkson ended up having to pay her husband out a substantial amount of money when they split up. It has resurfaced recently that our boy Steven Jackson. This is an old story, but I don't know how it resurfaced. But our boy Steven Jackson, he says, I ain't getting married. And Steven Jackson left his fiance at the altar after she didn't sign a prenup. Can y'all believe that? Left her at the altar. Then, on top of that, he goes on to say, it was 2 months before the wedding. She said she would get to it. That. It gets to be the day before the wedding, and she still hadn't signed it. And then he decided to leave. I want to play this. Y'all listen. Maybe I can play it. Anyway, the video won't play, y'all. But basically, what Steven was saying was, watch this. Day before the wedding, she wouldn't sign the prenup, called it off. That same night, he went to the club, and some of her bridesmaids were there with him at the club. Her bridesmaids were there at the club. If that ain't trifling,
They weren't consoling their friend.
they were consoling him. They were consoling Steven. I bet some of them were saying, "Look, I will sign this prenup now."
So what about your friends?
What about your friends? Look, y'all, look at it. Look at his face.
But I don't blame him though. I don't
Look,
blame him.
look at his face.
I
I
don't blame
know.
him.
And then look, it's a lot of, like I said, this is an old story, but it's a lot of people that's bringing this back up, right? And a lot of people talking about this. This is from Tyrese's Instagram page, and he
Of course.
says this dude is one of my best friends in my head, and he says they think a lot alike, and a lot of men are going to this, either saying I'm not getting married without this prenup, or I'm not getting married at all. Let me throw this disclaimer out there. I still believe in marriage. I still advocate for marriage. But I want to hear what y'all think. So, Alabama church girl, is on you. Would you sign a
You keep coming
prenup?
to me first.
Look, I went to Antoinette first last time.
I'm with you. All right, remember that one group over here and this other group over here?
Yeah, come on with it. Talk to us.
I don't think that they're operating in that pool of the niceness over here. They're operating in a pool of bag grabbers. And that's why they got to definitely get a prenup. But I will say this, I'm an advocate for it too. So I don't blame him. If you don't sign it, then what are you saying? At the end of the day, are you here to be a taker or are we here to grow together? That's what do you, I don't blame him.
You don't blame him. Okay.
I don't blame him.
Okay.
He gotta protect his own interest at the same time, because sometimes there are people out here that will flip the script on you. They will play nice, play nice, play nice. They love you as long as you hand over your assets. And then as soon as they got their name on your assets, they are gone out the door with your assets. So yeah, I don't blame him.
Okay. Okay. Antoinette, what do you
So
think
this
about
is
Steven Jackson?
so this is my thing. So of course we all want to get to that stage of marriage, finding that partner through thick and thin, I ride or die, whatever, whatever. However, with his particular situation, with having all that money, how long have they been together? Because if that's the case, if this is somebody you decided you wanted to marry and be with for the rest of your life, then why in the heck have you not set each other up to where she had her own assets, right? So if you gave her, let's say you gave her a doggone trial period of $500,000 for her to go ahead and build her own business, get up with financial literacy, excuse me, and start compounding, even if it was $1,000 loan, whatever, to show that she was committed to her own businesses and she could stay afloat. So that way, when you both come together with the same name in the same household, that a prenup wouldn't have even been part of the conversation. Now, even if it was part of the conversation, then she would have been financially set and stable to be like, okay, heck yeah, I'll go ahead and sign a prenup because in our relationship prior to marriage, you already set me up for success. So if we have all these resources and yeah, it's his money, but you've decided to pick this woman as your partner, whether y'all are married or not, why didn't you or her have these questions and sit down and be like, all right, cool. If you want me to have this prenup, what are the additional contracts? What are the additional stipulations that would make sure that I'm set too. So you don't want to set up your partner for failure, especially if you're thinking about growing with them for the rest of your life. I mean, it's not like this is something temporary with this person because you clearly decided you wanted a commitment with them. So this I don't know. The prenups, yeah, but I also want to make sure that my partner, if I'm with all this money, is financially stable and can comprehend how to hold their own money if in the case we do separate. And like with Dr. Dre, they was married for as long as how old I am. So there's no reason in the world that you should be having an argument about money when y'all have had these resources and these opportunities to have multiple streams of income. Like this shouldn't even be a topic. Well, not
Mhm.
But you
for
know,
us, but
Antoinette,
mhm,
I think that goes back to what we were just stating in the previous conversation about
mhm,
asking the right questions, really getting to know the heart of who you're dealing with
right.
from the beginning. Now, I have to give you another example. Remember Candy Burris before she got married? It got down to like the last day before the wedding, and she made her husband know, hey, if you don't sign this paper, we're not getting married. And I don't blame her because she comes
Mhm,
into the relationship a multi-million dollar woman. He was a six-figure man. He wasn't no, scuttlebutt, but
mhm.
he didn't have the multis
A
like she.
what?
You know
What
I'm
was that?
country. I'm
Scuttlebutt.
country and don't be playing. Don't you see this Alabama on my hat?
Wait, whoa, 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 whoa. I've never heard that a day of my life. A what?
A scutter butt.
A scutter butt.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it on a sweatshirt so you'll know what it is the next time, okay?
Okay,
And
I learned
remember,
something.
you heard
I
it
learned
here
something
first with
new.
the Alabama church girl.
I heard it
Okay.
here first with the Alabama church girl.
Yes, but he wasn't no rinky dink. He was doing something for himself. But she came into this relationship with multi millions. Like I think she was worth like $30 million.
Mhm.
Now you see them working together. They have businesses together. They're making multi millions together, and they're
Right.
on their way together. But she was very adamant. I know that this is a good thing, but sometimes good things do come to an end. So I got to protect myself in case it does. That you don't walk away, with half of what I worked all my life to earn. So I don't see a problem with it. I don't. I don't.
Absolutely. No, and I'm not disagreeing with the prenups. I'm just saying before you even get to the first 48 hours to your wedding, that this is still a discussion. Because yeah, if I'm working hard and I have multi-millions and you only have, a couple of thousand, whatever, but I understand you understand what business is. Still, at the end of the day, yeah, the prenup may be there, but I still need to make sure that my partner is set up for success. So, like with the example of Candy and Todd, they're still growing, they're still building, and what have you. But I guess with his ex fiance, I mean, this was toxic to begin with because you already talking about that you done smashed the homie on the night before y'all were supposed to get married. So this was already planned because y'all clearly have a lot of other issues besides just this prenup.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, and I also agree with uh, Iris here in the chat. She says as long as the contract is fair for both parties. Um, I agree with that 100%. Now, then she said if it if it was pulled on me last minute, no. Okay, I mean, I can dig that too. I can dig that too. It's definitely something that needs to be discussed, and I also think that it can't be discussed in just one setting either. You might have to
Hmm.
talk about this a couple days, before you come to something. But especially in the case with uh, Steven Jackson, if he's the primary breadwinner and she was married to him, for X amount of years, no infidelity, but for whatever reason, it just does not work out. Should she leave empty handed? Absolutely not. I believe it would be his responsibility to make sure, that she's set up, for success, to start a new life or continue on with her life. I don't think that she should leave with absolutely nothing, and especially if she was, a stay at home wife, a stay at home mom, especially not leaving with anything. As long as it's fair and reasonable, I don't think there's anything wrong with the prenup, whether it comes from either side. Now, I will say that no matter how you vet somebody, there are still some people that can pull the wool over your eyes, i.e., Brittany Renner, and she's in the business of this. And then did y'all see what's the name used to be with Kanye? Um,
Kim
Kim,
Kardashian,
no, not Kim. Before her, um,
the blonde
the
haired
bald
lady.
head one,
yeah,
Amber
that one,
Rose,
Amber Rose.
Amber.
Amber
Mm.
Rose. She just broke up with old buddy, and now she says it's hell season again,
Say
or she
it
or now she can embrace her inner hell.
again.
You know, I don't think that's conducive to your life to embrace your inner hell.
So
So
wait a minute
no.
now, JD. Sometimes you gotta have a season.
And a reason.
What
Let me tell
what
you
does
something.
what does
Come
that
on
even
now.
mean? What does that
Come on
mean?
now. The Bible says. The Bible says.
I don't think the
There's
Bible
a
says to
time.
be. I don't think the Bible
There's
says to
a
be
time to
a
sow,
hell.
and there's a time to reap.
I don't think the
There's
Bible
a time for
says
war. It's time for peace. It's time for purity, and it's time for hills.
not it. What does the Bible say anything about stepdaddy season?
No.
Because that's what they're saying. They're saying it's stepdaddy season. It's time to embrace the. That's not conducive, ladies. These are not the ones you want to model yourself after.
Ooh.
Because once Amber Rose, no, I'm not talking
Oh.
about y'all. I'm talking about like Amber Rose, Brittany Renner, those are not the people that you want to model yourself after. Because
Answer that
once a
said
man,
who?
huh?
Who said
Answer
the
that
app?
said who?
Look, once a man feels like you for the streets, it ain't no coming back. I'm telling you right now. Once a man feels like you for the streets, it ain't no coming back, and it's gonna be hard to live that down. Amber Rose has proven on several occasions she for the streets.
I told you
She
what
for
my
the
grandma
streets.
said,
What did your grandma say?
that it's okay to be a hoe. Everybody ain't supposed to know.
Oh, okay. Maybe everybody ain't supposed to. Now, with your man, your significant other, your spouse, you know, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
That's
But
right.
yeah,
The streets is calling my name.
yeah,
Mm.
we don't want to be for the streets over here. And but do y'all think that this is a way to possibly for men to kind of vet a woman just to see what she's gonna do? Because let's go back to PJ and Brittany Renner for a second. I believe she preyed on that dude. You know what I'm saying? He was young, he was impressionable. Um, he hadn't come into his own yet. You know, he's big time basketball star going to the league, and got with this dude, got pregnant. Not long after the baby was born, gone. Y'all know what she said? Got him.
But could you say that for Nick Cannon and Mariah Carey? I mean, after they divorced, right? He's in them streets because he's on what, his seventh, his eighth child?
Ninth. The
Ninth.
ninth.
In 6 months,
Yes.
right?
He got a
Right,
set of twins with Mariah and a set of twins with another woman, and then got like
right,
three ladies pregnant right now.
right.
I don't know what's gotten into Nick.
He
That then
got
he
that degree and he is in there like swimwear,
I
educating everybody.
I want to say that now I don't quote me on this. Let me put this up real quick. Where is it? Allegedly, he had some kind of he autoimmune disease or some kind of disease, and that made him look at life differently, and he wanted to um, spread his seed or whatever. This is all allegedly because I don't know this, for truth, but uh, I that's what I want to say. Somebody said happened, because everybody
I
knows that.
heard that.
All it takes is a one report from the doctor to change your whole aspect on life. You know what I'm saying? So I believe it, and he said that he's not gonna stop. Allegedly,
He has the money to do so. So as long as he's taking care of those seeds too,
right? He
that's
has the money
another,
to do so.
I'm about to
you
say
know.
something real controversial.
Say
Mhm.
it.
Where are the Texas law officials now to
Okay.
put some birth control parameters on these men who out here just wayward with their seed?
Not wayward.
Wayward.
By the
Because there's no
wayside.
way if he is spreading seed all across America that he can give those children the attention and care that they need.
Hmm.
He might have
Now
some he might have the money to give to them, but it takes more than money to raise a child.
Okay.
that is true. I agree with that 100%. Just
Mhm.
a father needs to be present,
Right.
and not just yeah, he should definitely throw some money around and make sure that the child is well taken care of and provided for. However, that child also needs some guidance and a strong male figure, for that structure and discipline. Because I
So
mean,
I say to that that
mhm,
these same law officials that feel like it's okay to make laws that govern a woman's body and when she can and if she can and how she can have a baby need to be making some laws to govern these men's body because it takes two to tango.
But it's also
yeah,
cheaper and reversible for men to have a vasectomy as compared to the different trials and tribulations that a
A
woman
woman
must
goes
go
through.
through.
Exactly.
So, at the end of the day, it's easier and painless um, for a man to undergo different stipulations as compared to a woman. So, yeah.
and that part is true. While I don't advocate for any kind of um, governing or sanctioning that tells you what you can and can't do with your body. I don't agree with that at all. Um, I do believe, however, that people need to uh, really start considering the severity of bringing a child into the world, because the child does not ask to be here. And I have to admit, there are a lot of men, right, who are guilty of making children and then not taking care of them when you knew absolutely what you were doing. And there's a lot of women, on the other hand, that pick the guy to have a baby with. I've heard many people, men and women, but mostly women, say that I'm ready to have a baby, but I'm not ready for marriage. I don't understand that, because how can somebody be good enough? Giving a man a child is like the highest honor.
Giving him a child.
That is the highest honor. That is the highest honor.
Say what?
Giving a man a child is the highest honor that should be reserved for not everyone. How many women are willing and say that they're ready to be mothers, but they're not ready to be a wife? Tell me when I'm lying.
I'm just caught up on the way you phrased that. You gave it. I gave my child to the man.
You know what I mean.
I know what you said.
You what?
I know what you said, and I gave you an opportunity. I held my ear over here
Having a
to let you
child.
rephrase.
Listen, a man being able to look down at a mini him is the highest honor that a woman can do for a man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just curious
I do understand the
to
essence of what you
how. Yeah, I'm just curious to how that equates. You're ready. You're not ready to be a wife, but you're ready to be a mother. And to me, being a mother requires even more commitment. A lot
but
more
maybe
commitment.
but maybe that woman is seeing it as a high honor as well to be a mother. That she's looking down at a mini her. That she's not giving it to the man. She's gaining it for herself out of her own body.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I will say this, um, as it pertains and relates to signing this prenup. You know, I'm raising a student athlete. I got a basketball player on my hands. He's real tall, real strong, real slender, real pretty good with this basketball. These are conversations that we have had about him potentially getting a vasectomy if he goes and gets that far in the basketball career because he likes girls and they seem to like him.
Good. Good.
And he has a very kind heart.
Mm-hmm.
He really does. And I wouldn't want to see my baby get mishandled in the same fashion. You know, that somebody just set him up for the okey doke. Just because, AJ real kind hearted. AJ will give you the shirt off his back and let you take it and walk away from my baby and hurt his heart, his mama coming.
Mm-hmm.
Just understand. So, we have had these discussions about, vasectomy. Of course, he say what every other man say, ain't let nobody cut me. But, the conversation does happen because I want him to protect himself, be smarter. Even, there are women out here that will claim that a man is the baby's father, and then we find out years later that's not the case after they've spent, half that child's life pouring into that child as if that was their own. Their families are connected. I have an uncle that went through that, and honestly, the kid I still call my cousin because that's what he was raised up as. That's what we know him as. But
Mm-hmm.
they didn't find out until after the baby was almost 18 years old that really was not his
Wow.
child. Yeah.
Mm.
Now I'll have to fault my uncle because he was out here being wayward. He was
Mm.
just shooting the clubs all up. So he
18 years. 18 years.
yeah,
Right.
it happened to him a couple of times. Find himself in
Wait,
DNA
whoa,
court.
whoa, 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 whoa. You said a couple times?
A couple. Yeah.
My lord.
But
Whew.
I we learn from these situations. The JD take an exit.
Lights out. Lights out.
He said, I can't take it. But we
Yeah.
learn from these situations, and I have to teach my son, hey, you gotta be smarter.
Yeah. True story. True story. And you're absolutely right. It does happen. True story. Not from me, but from one of my colleagues. He said that coming up when he was active duty in the Marine Corps, that he did have a go get a vasectomy, and lady he was dealing with at the time, uh, came back and said that she was pregnant and was trying to say that it was his, so that's how he knew that she, was messing around and wasn't who she said she was, because he had already knew he had that done years ago, but he never did tell her that. So I mean, it could work out to his advantage, and from what I understand, it is reversible. So I mean that might be. It might be an option for people to look into, or just make sure that you're married, and then you don't have to deal with any of that.
Wait a minute. Yes, you
Huh?
do. That's
Huh?
what we're
Huh?
talking about. This woman
What'd
setting
you
up
say?
the man, getting married, and then exiting stage left as soon as that baby comes.
Yeah, now that is true, but how do you tell though?
That's
That's what I'm
that's why
saying. How do you
that's
tell?
why you have to protect yourself.
Absolutely, absolutely. You have to make sure you know who you're dealing with, and make sure that you have a connection with that person. And I know, some people are really good actors and can put on a show for a really long time, but every once in a while, well, let me not say every once in a while, but sometimes something comes along to where you got to play Russian roulette, put it all on black and let it ride, you know?
Or you can
Otherwise,
use or you can use condoms and sign prenups.
I'm talking about letting that too, all of the above. But I'm talking about letting it all ride, and giving somebody 100%, and 100% trust, 100% of you. You get 100% of them, and you just let it ride. You know what I'm saying? Especially if there's a genuine connection there. Sometimes you just know when it's right. You know what I'm saying? And it might seem like something taboo in 2021, because a lot of people don't believe that uh, marriage is real, or that real genuine relationships can happen. But I am a firm believer that there is still hope. There's some genuine people out there, and when you find somebody that you believe is genuine, you have a connection with, absolutely put all your chips on the table. Go to Vegas, put all your chips on the table, and let that thing ride. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, good discussion tonight, y'all. I thank y'all so much. Y'all did an awesome job. Awesome job. People will change on you now. Look, Iris, you are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. People will change on you. However, it has to come a point to where you have some kind of trust. You know what I'm saying? And if it doesn't work out, get up and try it again. But you have to have some kind of, with the right people though, Miss Iris, with the right people. Even though people will change on you, I believe if you find the right people with a genuine connection, I still believe that people can make and have a long term relationship, long term marriage, more families, kids together, all of that. And let me just say this before we go. Let me throw this little spill out here. I'm doing this, and I started this panel because I care. You know what I'm saying? I am someone who really genuinely cares about people getting together, having families, having long lasting relationships, long lasting marriages, to where our community can grow and continue to build and move forward, so we can try to change some of this narrative that's being pushed so much. Everybody's not like what you see in the media. Everybody's not city girls. Everybody's not hot boying it up or whatever. And I really believe that the people that I have on this panel cares just as much, if not more, than I do. And it was some of y'all know, some of y'all don't know. I am a pastor, right? And I believe that if we are going to do better, it needs to start in the church. It has to. And I believe if we saw more of our churches showing more concern, legitimate concern about the people getting together, and not just trying to do a money grab all the time,
Come on
that
now.
we would see more relationships. We would see more men coming back to the church. We would see more families coming back to the church, and I believe the church would have more of a positive spin. Just like uh, Alabama Church Girl, the taboo church topics, the stuff that people don't want to talk about in church. These are the kinds of conversations that we need to start having. We need these conversations. So please, if you find value out of what we're doing, I want you to like the video, share the video, and if you are getting some value out of it, I guarantee you somebody else will find some value in it as well. Because JD cares, y'all. JD cares. And Valerie, Alabama church girl, she's been on this journey since the beginning. Antoinette, she's been on for a while, but Alabama church girl and I used to talk a lot about going public with this thing, and I was kind of worried about, oh well, what are people gonna say? We're having these kind of discussions, but now I'm at the point to where I don't care because these things are needed in our community. So yeah, final thoughts. That's my rant for the evening. Final thoughts, Antoinette. Would you sign a
Uh,
prenup? What do you think?
I don't know. It depends on my partner and where we are and where the support is, what businesses have already been established, and we're going to have to meet something in the middle. So, this is a discussion. We're going to have to dig a little bit deeper because, like we said, at the end of the day, people are opportunists and sometimes they have ulterior motives and they're able to draw it out and hide under that mask. But you have to, or I would basically be challenging them because you got to listen to that gut too, to tell me what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And so if we've had this relationship and it's still feeling wrong, then we're not even going to have this discussion of a prenup. But if I feel as though we're going to progress and have other motives of getting us financially stable on both sides of the track, then yeah, the prenup will be necessary because we don't know what's going to happen at the end of the day if you have the Beckys with the good hair that come around. And, I need to also then make sure that my children, and everyone in the future is safe because after Becky with the good hair come into the equation, then that just means I will be in a situation where bail money will not be enough.
I get it. I get it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Alabama church girl, come
I,
on with it. Final thoughts.
I love how Antoinette says it with a straight face. I love it.
Always with a straight face, right?
Y'all know my life. Yeah.
y'all, y'all better know she's serious, y'all.
Always with a straight face.
But I have enjoyed the conversation tonight. I'm sorry I came with my sillies tonight. I actually just literally came in from a run when it got me something to drink and sat down. So I'm silly right now. I'm
You
sorry.
good. You
I do
good.
apologize, but I hope it was entertaining for you.
Very
um,
much so.
as it pertains to the prenup, y'all know I just got married, a little over 6 weeks ago.
Hmm.
And to be very transparent, no, we did not sign a prenup in this marriage. But that's because I ain't letting him leave.
There you go.
We're not, it's till death do us part. So
Right.
there is no divorcing in this marriage.
There you
But
go.
I will advocate for any other young person, especially going into your first marriage, your first time doing this. Sometimes you learn by trial and error. Hopefully, it's a good go, but you do have to protect yourself if it's not. Um, Everybody in America is striving for better these
Hmm.
days. Everybody is. So you never know where that better is going to land you. And what you don't want is you do all your striving and surviving and you get there and someone walks away with half of what you worked for. So or if not more. So you
Hmm.
just have to protect yourself. That's my advice for to wrap up the conversation.
Okay. Okay. I can dig it. I can dig it. I like it a lot. Well, listen, y'all, we're out of time. We had a great discussion tonight. Thank y'all so much for joining me. Don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe. Let the people know what we doing over here. As usual, y'all, it's your boy JD, aka Mr. December, for Antoinette and the Alabama Church Girl, y'all.